From the heart of Cape Town's innovation hub, the continent's tech community converged for 3 electric days at the Africa Tech Festival 2025, hosted at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. Across keynote sessions and 2 high-level panel discussions, Honor reaffirmed its Alpha Plan, a transformative corporate strategy marking Honor's evolution from a smartphone manufacturer into a global artificial intelligence device ecosystem company.
Honor will announce our Alpha plans, and that's the way and that's the plan for us to achieve our visions and to go digital with the societies. And in order to achieve the Alpha plan, achieve the goals from our side, we divide the plan into 3 steps. First step, everyone, you have to have access or the device to get access to the digital world, which is the AI device. So from our side, we believe the first step to build the AI era, AI world, is to build an intelligent world, intelligent handset. And then how? We must be open and cooperate with all the partners globally. We can't be a closed system. So second step, we will cooperate and work together with all the partners globally and breed an intelligent ecosystem. And last step, that may be a few years later, we're gonna see an intelligent world where you can see carbon-based human and silicon-based robot live together and get into the AGI era together. And Honor commitment that in next 5 years, Honor will invest $10 billion into the AI technologies and cooperate with our partners to build an open, co-creative, value-sharing AI device ecosystem with all the global partners. And actually right now, we already have the first technology careers in China. As you can see, this is the world's first Alpha store from Honor in Shenzhen. In this store, you're going to be catering by the robot. Get into the store, the robot will come to you and ask for your request, and the robot can do everything for you. In this store, you can experience the cutting-edge AI technologies. That's just a glimpse of the future. And how the device, as the gentleman just mentioned, the device is the access, is the window to the world. From Honor side, we provide the different range of the AI device, from the high-tech, from the high-end to the entry levels. And we believe AI shouldn't be limited to the flagship. AI is a tool, is something should be available for everyone. So we have all the devices equipped with AI functions, from our Magic series to our X series. And not only the device, the system, the ecosystem, how you can get the smooth experience in your daily life. When handset or device is one part, another things, during our daily life, laptop, handset, tablets, wearables, audios, and there is so much on. There is a lot of IoT equipment can benefit or smooth your digital life. And here, some small advertisements. We invite all our guests can go to the halls and visit Honor stand in the hall to experience the smooth and the cutting-edge AI innovations from Honor side, just maybe after the keynote. Yes, for new companies, only for 5 years old, Honor have already achieved some milestones, and we have been recognized as the most fastest growth brand global-wide. So in Middle East and Africa, Q2 this year, Honor have officially become top 4 brand in the continent. Thank you. And also in some particular countries, just like Malaysia, Honor already is top 2. And there is so more to mention. But because of time, I have to skip that. But we have to speak about South Africa. After 3 years rapid growth as the most fastest growth brand in South Africa, Q2 this year, Honor have officially become top 2 handset maker in South Africa. But that's not the end. Not the end. We always say, no ambitions, no excellence. So Honor's ambition in South Africa is to become top 1 in 2028. As a business, like business entities, we come to South Africa, but there is something more we want to share with South Africa together. We always say to our media friends, our partners in this industry, that Honor not only come to South Africa for business, Honor want to become the bridge between China and South Africa. So we feedback the societies, just something about what we have done for the last few years. First, there is a lot of areas, a lot of people, they needed access to go to the digital life, the digital world. So in last 2 years, Honor have already donated more than 2 million worth device in South Africa with our NPO partners. And our footprint have already go through the whole country. And we will continue to do this and help South Africa to go digital together with all our partners in South Africa. Sports is in everyone's DNA, not only in South Africa, also the whole continent. And this year, March, we are proudly to say we become the official technology device sponsor for Bafana Bafana. And I think, go FIFA. And I think our corporations, I don't know, maybe that's something like old thing from China. After the cooperation between us, after we signed the contract, Bafana Bafana never lost one game. And we can see Bafana Bafana at FIFA World Cup next year. There is a lot of talent in the continent, and they just sitting there, or maybe they are waiting to be discovered or to be found, and bring them to another bigger stage. So Honor in South Africa last year, we launched our first program, Honor Talent, which we want to fund the talent in the countries with arts, and bring them the art, bring them the work, the art, the how to say that, the draw or their art piece to global stage, and join the competitions with globally with the students, with the artists from other countries. And last year, we are so proud we have the first South Africa winner from Eastern Cape, and right now his art is singing globally.
The panel discussion titled The Impact of AI on the Smartphone Industry brought together key voices shaping Africa's digital future. The dialogue revolved around a single urgent question: how to ensure AI doesn't remain a luxury but becomes a tool for empowerment. With most South Africans accessing the digital world primarily through their smartphones, the panelists agreed that expanding AI's reach must start first with affordable AI-capable devices.
This is the one thing that Honor is adopting so fast on the continent. And you guys are doing it really well. You understand the nuances. You understand that, there is so much happening on the continent, the different languages that Akram just raised earlier. Can you tell us about Honor and your view regards driving industry standards and collaborations around AI? Because, you know, we cannot have silos on the continent. We've got to collaborate. We've got to do things together. We've got to break down those boundaries in order for us to enhance that collaboration and really bring true innovation. Tell us about what Honor is doing.
So, as I just mentioned, we at MWC this year we announced that there is a 10 billion investment into the AI industries, and I can't disclose the name right now, but we already have some. We also have some partners in Africa continent to work together to invest into the AI industries.
$10 billion.
$10 billion for next 5 years.
I think that deserves a big round of applause. You see, this is the investment, and this is where Honor they say something, but they bring the impact to it. So $10 billion is a lot of money that you're going to be utilizing. How are you going to be utilizing that? Talk to us about the collaboration and those industry standards that you were talking about.
So I think the first step, let's say from Honor ourselves, from our side, let's make the start point. We will make the AI phones, the intelligent phones, like accessible for everyone. Because in South Africa, in Africa continent, we have to think about the realities. So we will make the X series, which is like accessible for everyone. So we partner with a lot of different like operator partners and also like partners, technical partners in the industries to have the, let's say, the fun tech, let's call it like a fun tech technologies to make the AI phone more accessible to everyone. So we'll have the coverage first to get the consumers the AI phone in their hand. Then, secondly, there is a lot of partners actually also in South Africa and also on the continent. They are doing the system, the ecosystem together, no matter from like laptop side, tablet side, and they also provide, because we are building an open ecosystem. So everyone which use Google or Android actually can cooperate with our technologies. Okay. So we can absorb or work with them together to get their technologies into the Honor ecosystem. And for example, today from our stand, we can see a lot of like IoT products. Actually, this is let's say a showcase about the Honor open ecosystem together. So I think with these two steps currently is the way we are trying to build like the AI functions or AI technologies into the mass market.
And I think that's a very, very important point that you've just made, is because right now when you think of AI and the adoption of AI, it's sitting right up there in the top end of devices. What you're saying at Honor, you're bringing AI and availability of AI right down to the bottom devices. And that's where I want to bring you in, Andisa, at Vodacom, because this is really true AI adoption that's happening in the smartphone industry. Because up to now, what we've seen is that unless you've got a high-end phone with a really powerful chip, you denied access to the AI that we're talking about. This is groundbreaking stuff that Honor is doing, is that it's making AI accessible to all.
This is the equalizer. So certainly one of the big things is about device financing. So how do we make sure that people can afford these devices? And we've certainly launched a few things on our side, a product called Easy to Own in South Africa, where just from R6.50 a day, you can own a smartphone. So you pay R6.50 a day when you top up, every time you top up, and you can finance that smartphone. So about trying to get access to smartphones in South Africa and other parts of the continent as well. I think what's also important for us is to really make sure that this technology is also influenced by our local market context. Because a lot of people talk about the power of technology to change Africa, but actually we need to talk about the power of Africa to influence and shift technology to make sure that the solutions that we get here are relevant for the markets where we operate. And so things like content, things like how consumers are interacting and engaging with technology, things like languages that Akram spoke about earlier, those things are going to be critical if we are to drive scale in terms of the adoption of these technologies on the African continent. And so how do we play a much more meaningful role in terms of creating those ecosystems that Fred was talking about earlier, and really making sure that some of the platforms have got that local content, that local context, to make sure that we're also influencing it the other way as well, not just one-dimensional from that perspective.
So Akram, you're sitting in the middle because you've got an independent view at Geek Hub, and you see things from a different perspective. Are I mean, is this really going to enable consumers to benefit from Honor's strategy and Vodacom's strategy of using AI? Is this vision a reality that can really happen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key is collaboration. AI cannot function independently just on its own. So, players like Honor coming in with the actual hardware AI and enabling that capability from a hardware perspective, bundled with the agentic AI providers, and then, of course, network AI with the likes of Vodacom. That's when you can, you correctly mentioned it earlier on that good AI is invisible. It happens in the background and provide. It's not about the circle to search. It's not just about having a voice assistant or removing a photo bomber. Good AI happens and you don't even know it because it's able to predict and learn your habits before. And we need the hardware providers like Honor to come together. But at the same time, the network AI, when you are able to use those data sets and understand how can we bring data prices down? How can we be able to do predictive customer service? I don't know if any one of you guys ever tried to use recently a customer service contact center in South Africa and what that experience like, but mine hasn't been great. So if you are able to have AI to be able to predict along with the hardware provider what your issue is and be able to provide a solution beforehand, I think this is where we see real world use cases and customer benefits coming in. And that's what these guys are putting together and proposing right now.
And I think it's brilliant that we have this broader digital inclusion, and you bring the power of this technology, the power of AI, to everybody's hands. Anybody that has a smartphone that is empowered by Honor, that has the capabilities that we are talking about, that's happening on the chip. And that doesn't just happen, automatically. I'd love you to just touch on the amount of money that Honor is spending on this, on research and development. I know you mentioned that $10 billion amount, but that's come from, the hardware innovation, the software innovation that's happening on a device that is enabling this to happen. And you're spending a lot of money on this research and development as a brand.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the amount of research and development that you as a brand are spending on innovation on the chip to enable this AI to happen is extraordinary.
Yes. So, as you know, the 10 billion, let me mention this way. The 10 billion for the next 5 years is like the public ones.
Yes.
Actually, behind the scene,
Yes.
there is a lot of things actually is happening because of some secret information I can't disclose now.
Of course.
But I can tell everyone, besides that 10 billions, and something from Honor side, there is a huge is coming, and we will disclose and share with everyone about the investment. Let's say top up investment from AI from Honor side into the AI industry.
AI is a big part of it is about the data and the quality of the data. So having a data-led strategy first. But when you think about how much data we have on consumers and all the data points that we have around how consumers are living their lives, you add onto that the AI component and the behaviors that they're driving. That enables you to have such a personalized experience for every single customer that you have, because
Yes.
everyone is interacting very differently. That means the offers that you have are very personalized. That means how you service them is personalized. That means how you market to them can also be very personalized. So it's a level of segmentation that we've never seen before at scale, given some of the insights that we get from both the data side of customers, but also on the other side in terms of what the AI and the behaviors are in terms of how we drive that. And that hopefully should drive a much more improved customer experience for all customers.
Excellent. Good morning to you, sir. Afternoon, actually. Where are you from? And let's have your question.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ajibola. I work for the Association of Telecommunication Companies of Nigeria.
Okay.
I am the Executive Secretary. AI is transformative, but what are you doing in the area of including people living with disabilities in the entire ecosystem? Because phones without AI, they are already saying that it is pretty expensive. So what provisions have you made with respect to making them to be inclusive, in the entire ecosystem?
That's a great question. And are you specifically talking about people who have problems with hearing, for example, any kinds of disabilities? I mean, that's a great question. I just want to add to that because I've seen some of the translating stuff that you already have
Yes.
at Honor that really helps people understand, and I guess that with disabilities it would help extensively as well there.
So actually for this part, there is a functions in all the Honor phones. It's called like disable friendly. So we don't like touch that much, like announce that much for these functions. But no matter for the hearing, like disable like consumers or the like the eyes, for this like that kind of aspect, there is a functions in all the Honor phones can support or enhance their feelings or them when use all the Honor phones to give them similar experience as not like 100%, but lift their user experience when we use Honor phones to access the digital world. So one example I can share with you. Actually, I was asked this question early this year in Sun City, and there is like a disabled lady can't hear. He can't hear like clearly. So with our like AI functions to cooperate with our handset, our wearables, it can enhance the feeling, not like all the hearings, but the feedback from the phones, no matter the like the how to say the like say or the sound or the voice or voice communication can help them like that small part of the consumers still have similar experience as normal people using all the handsets.
We really have great coverage in terms of LTE and 5G, and I mean 3G is about to be switched off in many areas, for example. But two great questions: contextualization and the data. Who wants to have a first go at it? Let's start with Vodacom, because it always comes to access of this high-speed connectivity. What's your call on this question?
Cool. So I think there's a couple of things, right? So the first one is all of this technology can't just arrive here without local context. That's why I started the point by saying people talk about the power of technology to change Africa. It's got to be the other way around too. Africa's also got to influence how those things are locally relevant for us so that they can drive scale and also create the type of impact that we need them to. And therefore, things like being able to be transportable into local languages at scale is a critical part of how we drive that context. And then also the content ecosystem has got to be a critical part of that. So we've got to consistently be playing a role in helping to influence these technologies even before they arrive here. That's number one. Number two, I think on the education part, we've got a huge issue. I also feel quite passionate when I see some of the real challenge that we have in terms of the ability to progress in terms of education system. Vodacom has been a big player in education for the last 25 years. And we work with the Department of Basic Education to make sure that we've got connectivity across a lot of the schools. We also have Vodacom Schools of Excellence, where we invest a lot of the technologies in there and connectivity. A big part of this is about pedagogy, how we're teaching. Because fundamentally, how teachers teach, how we train our students, but also the types of things we're teaching them for in the future. So how do we take a much more mid to long-term view on how we start now to build for those skills that currently don't exist today? But it's an ongoing partnership, and we certainly partner with the DBE to make sure that we are aligning and helping them to accelerate their efforts to make sure that all South Africans have a meaningful chance in the world.
Akram, what's your take on the answers?
Yeah, I think I raised that issue about contextualization and localization.
Yes.
So it is important that we do that and we focus on the localization. It'll be great, especially with the literacy rates in Africa in general, for somebody to pick up their phone, speak in their local language, and be able to get assistance and improve their skills or get capability. But if they don't have access to a device that has that capability, that's the first issue. So we're talking about the impact of AI on the smartphone industry. I think we should also reverse it and the impact of the smartphone industry on AI. And this is what brands like Honor is doing, is that if those people cannot access a device at the right price point that has the capability and power to process those commands, it's absolutely useless if we are saying that we have the context and the language. So the first step, I think it needs to happen simultaneously, that we cannot import our intelligence. It has to be localized and adapted for our context and for African issues. But also the priority and the number one is that, is it universally accessible and not just for the privileged? And I think with the X series, etc., that Honor is doing now, is that step is taken care of, where you are able to have hardware capability. And now the next step is obviously, and perhaps Fred can touch on the long-term plans, but now it will be about localizing and actually having those large language models adapted for Africa.
And we need to wrap up. So Fred, I don't want to leave you for last, the big words for last, but yes, what is your take on this?
I think it's just like Akram just mentioned. So, for the short term, also like the localizing for this part, it's very important part. But currently, let's say it's on the progress from our side.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah, fantastic stuff. Look, I mean, we can discuss this topic for a long time, and I mean, even from a Vodacom perspective and connectivity, but when you look at where the world is right now, how many satellites are going up in the air? They're literally blanketing the entire world. People in the next 5 years, my prediction is that we're going to have access to data at our fingertips wherever we are on the continent. The technology is going to be so powerful in the next 5 years that a device that comes from Honor will be standard. The AI that it's got built in will have an impact on people's lives like we've never seen before. The translation capabilities, the contextualization, that you'll be able to have a conversation with someone from anywhere on the continent and you'll be able to see that translation come up in text in front of your phone as a standard in the next 5 years. Now, let's think of how powerful that is from an AI perspective, how many boundaries that breaks down. And it's all the technology that's been driven, the impact and the innovation that's happening on the Honor side and on the network side from Vodacom and other networks is going to be incredible. And that's all going to be at the tip of our fingertips in the next 5 years. So big thank you to the panel. Andisa, a big thank you to Akram, and a big thank you to Fred Zhu and your company at Honor and the impact that you are bringing into the world of AI and the smartphone. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
From the buzzing floors of the CTICC to conversations that will echo across Africa's tech ecosystem, accessible human-centered AI was the central focus of the day. As the world moves towards more intelligent, connected living, the future of technology in Africa rests on the innovation and inclusivity of smart technology that is built for everyone.